So welcome back to the cabin. I think when I like to think about the pioneers and the way things were, I really do enjoy the style of life that people lived back then. We call it the simple life, but there was really nothing simple about it. You know, today we can go to the grocery store and we can pick up some beef or some chicken and make a meal, where the pioneers and our ancestors, you know, they might have had to eat just whatever they had. So today's video is kind of, you know, a scenario like that. You know, a pioneer is traveling and he needs a meal. So what I've got are a couple snapping turtles that a buddy of mine had caught and gave to me. And today we're going to make a meal out of snapping turtle. So normally snapping turtle is done, let's say in a turtle stew. I mean, that is really the most common thing that people cook snapping turtle, or make snapping turtle into turtle stew. But let's just say I just want turtle. I've got a little bit of grain. I've got some wheat and some corn. So with that, I'm going to make some cornbread to go with it. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all this meat in this pot and hang it over a fire and just let it cook for a long time off the fire, so that it's just a really slow cook. You have to remember that turtle, if you've ever held a snapping turtle, they are crazy strong. Well, the meat is crazy tough too. So in order to get the meat tenderized, that's why people do turtle stew. But if I cook this meat really slow, like I would cook a piece of brisket meat, let's say, brisket could be very tender if it's cooked low and slow for a lot of hours. So that's how I'm going to do the meat. I'm going to put it in the crock and I'm going to hang it on the iron there with some onions and some garlic over it, a little bit of salt and pepper, and just let it cook. Now, you know, I was raised in a very poor family, and basically you ate whatever was put in front of you. So no matter how this turns out, I'm going to eat it. But I'm going to cook it slow, and then once it starts to fall off of the bone, then I'm going to remove it from there and pan fry it. I'm going to flour it, pan fry it, salt and pepper. I think it's going to be really good. Similar to, I guess, you know, I really enjoy alligator meat. But alligator, again, is a reptile, just like a snapping turtle is, and that meat is pretty tough. So if you don't cook alligator just right, you get a stringy and a tough piece of meat. So turtle is the same way. So let me get this in the pot, get it on the fire, and then we're going to go to making cornbread, basically out of raw corn. A friend of mine, again, has a farm, and I harvest some corn so that I'll have some cornmeal for the winter. And then I picked up some wheat berries, and we're going to grind the corn. I've got my front porch all set up for milling grain by hand on the front porch, so that I could do breads and things through the winter on the front porch without having the need to go out someplace different. So we're going to do that after I get this hung on the fire. This meat is probably going to need 6 or 8 hours in there, just really low and slow over a back corner, and I'll just keep some big logs fed on there all day until it breaks this meat down and makes it something that's worthy of eating. So without any more hesitation, let's just get it stuffed in a pot, and let's get it stuffed in here. And I've lightly greased this already. And basically I picked the pieces of meat that there are bones in all of this. So basically everything that has the biggest chunks of meat that I can use, I'm just going to stuff it in this pan. No water. There's enough water in the meat. You know, that one's a little bit bony. That's a leg there. So basically I'm just going to stuff this all in a pan. Move that aside. Crush up some garlic here. And it's going to be cooking for a long time, so all that's going to break down. Now we're just going to put the lid on that and hang it on the fire. And I'll tell you, I don't want this hanging directly over the hot part of the fire. I want it kind of in the back corner, slow. So I'll move it around as I need to. But that's about it. Hi there, Lavender. So I'm going to hang that in the back corner there so that it'll get lots of heat off all sides, and I might move the fire a little bit closer, but I just don't want it cooking very fast. So, and now we're just going to leave it alone. I might check back in a couple hours. Just kind of keep it warm, keep it cooking slow. I might move the fire over just a little bit to get it going. I'll probably just drop this one over here. We just don't want it to be real hot. We want to cook it real slow. There we go. That should do us for a while. Okay. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, that's a cool girl. She likes to lay right in the fire. Right in front of the fire, huh, baby? Huh, baby? You like the fire on a cold day, huh? Anyway, I'll check back in just a little bit. Now that the meat, turtle meat, is in there cooking, let's go out to the front porch and grind this stuff all down into flours that we can use then to make cornbread. So let's go do that now. Okay, so welcome to my front porch. Just a real quick overview of what's here. Apple cider press, corn sheller. Then over here I have my grinder, which grinds really nice flour, and it catches under the table in a bowl. So I put a bowl underneath there and I can catch it. So for this video, we're not going to be using the apple cider press, of course. That'll be upcoming soon. But we're going to use the sheller to shell our corn, and then the grinder to grind both the wheat berries and the corn. For the recipe I'm using today, I only need a cup of flour and a cup of cornmeal. So we're not going to grind a whole lot because I don't want to waste the grain. So for now, let's move on to, probably 2 of these will be plenty. I'm sure most of the older group have probably used one of these at one time in their life. From the very first time I used one as a child, I was kind of stuck on it. Let's shell a couple real quick. Just that quick. It is off of the cob, and then I like to use this basket just to get rid of all the fine pieces of the cob and stuff that I really don't want to eat anyway. And then from there, we'll grind what we need. Okay, so now let's just grind a little bit at a time. Like I say, I only need about a cup, so I'm not going to grind all this, and I'm not going to grind all the wheat either. It does take a little bit to grind down the corn. The wheat grinds a lot faster. It should be close. See. Perfect. Cup of flour, so now we may need to make a cup of flour. Let's put this. Wheat berries are a lot harder to crank, but they grind up much quicker. That's pretty close to a cup. We're going to leave it at that. Okay. It's been about an hour and a half. I just want to check it, maybe put a little salt and pepper on it. Let's go ahead and open it up, see how it's cooking. And this lid fits really snug in there, which is good because it traps all the vapors in there, which really steams everything really well. So let's just check it out. There we go. Boy, that is looking really sharp. It's cooking really nice. I just want to get some salt on it, some pepper on it, and get it closed back up before all that steam gets out of there. Anyway, you can see it's really cooking nice. And the steam ain't going, the bottom of that's full of juices, so we're good. Boy, it smells delicious. So let's just keep letting it cook. I'll check back in a few more hours. I'm just going to sit that on there so I don't burn my table. So that I can debone. I'm basically just going to remove the meat out of this pot, and I put it in here in big chunks. And I guess they say there's like 11 different flavors of meat in a turtle. So I'm trying to just get it out of there in as big a pieces as I can because it's definitely falling off the bone. I can just get it in pieces big enough that I can flour it. That was about 4.5 hours, and my guess is 3.5 might have been plenty. For the remainder of this video, I'm going to switch over to the wood coal-fired cook stove. Because I have an oven to do my cornbread, I can use the top of the stove to cook, to pan fry everything up. So I'm just going to switch over to that. So since I have a fire burning, I'm just going to borrow some fire from there to get this started so I don't have to try so hard. There's probably enough wood laying there to get a pretty decent fire burning. I might get a little bit of smoke in the house, but who cares? Anyway, let's do it. I'm going to try it with this, and if they're not solid enough, then I'll get a shovel. And there's some crap laying in there too, so. Oh yeah, this will be fine. Give it a second to get the chimney working. While that oven's coming up to temperature, I'm going to get my cornbread all mixed up. Again, there's 2 cups, 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 cup of freshly ground flour. You know, basic cornbread recipe, some sugar, buttermilk, eggs, baking soda, and butter. So that's it. I'm just going to mix it together, get it in there. There's a million recipes out there, pick one. That oven's just about up where I want it at as well. Okay, now for the turtle meat. You can see this piece must be the neck, and it's got a lot of white meat on it. And that piece is really dark. That's probably more than enough for me to have a meal, but my guess is the pooch is going to want her fair share. Okay. This baby is burning hot now, so I got to be careful. That oven's cornbread's browning really well. Top of the stove is really hot. Again, I could have skipped this step, but I was told it's really good, so we're doing it. Keeping an eye on that cornbread because it is cooking fast. Check that cornbread again. And it's time for it to come out of there. There you go. Looks delicious. Any longer. It's golden brown now, but if I would have left it in there for another minute, it would have been toast. So let me get my turtle meat off of here. That's more than enough. Okay, I'm not going to waste any time because I love my cornbread hot out of the oven. You know what? Lavender's standing at the door waiting to come in. Come on, babe. You just wait and I'll give you some. Alright, so I can't complete this video without at least trying it. Cornbread's my favorite, so, and real butter this time. It's got more of a cake consistency because I used equal flour, but a very sweet corn flavor because of the fresh cornmeal. And now this is the white meat of the turtle. Very good. It's as good as any pot roast meat could be. I'll be honest, either one of those could be a full meal for me. I could just put a crock of meat on there and sit and eat just the different flavors of meat. Like, look at the difference in the color of this one, the white meat, versus the extremely dark meat. And they're both really good. Neither one of them are dry. This is where I'm going to leave you and finish my meal. So, hope you enjoyed the video. It was quite the chore to make. Cooking meals in those days required a lot of work. Now, the video process, of course, slowed it way down. But to do everything from scratch, it took so much more effort than to just go buy a Happy Meal, I guess you could say. So anyway, enjoy your weekend. I have one more day off before I go back to work on Monday. And I'm gonna sit and do nothing, I think. So anyway, see you guys next week or so.